Ladies and gentlemen, so documents a little more fleshed out. And I've done the boring audit. Get that all squared away. So yeah, this is accurate now. I also had to go do, well, I say had to. For the sake of security, I went ahead and did the dungeon that was technically outstanding. The quest was there, so the quest was still active. Had to go do a whole other dungeon off camera. Anyways, I also spent some time looking into enchanting as well as alchemy. I was really impressed with enchanting, like legitimately. I was sort of expecting it to be kind of threadbare, but no, you can make a lot of cool stuff. And part of the system is you can add disadvantages in order to give you more points, for lack of a better way to call it, in order to give you more advantages in order to buff your items. And a lot of the items you can give yourself, like obviously there's something like, for example, recall. You can make an item that gives you recall, which is nice. Or you can use a... I don't remember any of this stuff right now, of course. There's some neat stuff, is the point, that you can make with enchanting. Then I looked at alchemy, which is even harder to come by potion making, to be specific. Potion making kind of sucked, actually, to be really blunt about that. This is the other cool one. One of the things you can enchant is something called Repairs Objects, which repairs any damaged non-magical weapons and armor in your inventory, including stuff you have equipped, while that enchanted item is equipped. That is... I don't want to say mandatory, but that is an extremely helpful piece of gear. And yeah, there's items that can drain enemy stamina, or drain their stats, or drain their health. There's something... one of the requirements you could do is whenever, such and such, whenever you are near a specific type of enemy. There are... one of the disadvantages you can add is like massive weakness to sunlight or something like that. Oh yeah, here it is. User takes damage while in sunlight. There it is. So you can add a massive disadvantage to that, which doesn't affect dungeons. You get it. It's actually a pretty cool system. I will give it credit where credit is due. You're probably thinking, but Laura, why aren't you showing that off camera? So, you gotta rank up with the guilds to do that. Ranking up with the guilds sucks. It involves running around and doing procedurally generated quests until you've done enough to rank up. And then you have to wait a month and then do that again to get the next rank. I'm good, thanks. Now, while I was running around doing all those quests, I got a letter. Come at once to Arkbridge in Daggerfall. I'll be waiting at the Lucky Giant for you. The fate of the Empire could be at stake. The Klingon Empire. I'm on the wrong playlist. I think. Yeah, here we go. Sorry, there we go. Him. Okay. I hope so, Ben. By all accounts, we seem to be doing well. Why are there 3 taverns in this stupid podunk town? What? Whatever. I just... Why? Okay, okay. they they have aggressive marketing, I think is what we call that. You, come here, get drunk. What? They just throw you into the tavern. Okay, before we start this quest, I actually want to double check something else. Sorry, give me a second. We've got a lot of things to double check here. A lot of things to double check. Because if we're going to finish today, We need to talk about the other things we haven't been doing. Please pull your... Excuse me, sir. Are you sober? Well, yes, of course. Well, then, we need to have a chat, don't we? That's what we do. Yep, we need to talk about the Daedric Princes. We need to talk about vampirism. The Thieves Guild, the Dark Brotherhood. The Witch Covens. That's a thing in this game. There are 9 separate vampire bloodlines. That's hysterical. Oh, okay. Right, that makes more sense. Anyway, sorry. So, Runner, glad you can meet me here. The blades in your Emperor need you again. You may or may not be aware the totem of Tiber Septim has been found. For a brief time, Lord Woodbourne of Wayrest had it. Where he got it from is still a mystery. The blades mounted an assault on Woodbourne Hall to retrieve it. Although the hall fell, many of our number fell with it. We sacked the Woodbourne Hall, but the totem was gone. I have reason to believe that Gothard has the totem. The blades no longer have the men to mount an assault on Castle Daggerfall. You've shown yourself quite adept at getting in and out of these places. Would you go to Castle Daggerfall, our 3rd and final castle dungeon, and retrieve the totem of Tiber Septim? I know I can count on you, Runner. The totem is most likely in the Daggerfall treasury. It's a huge room, quite unmistakable. I'm leaving in a couple of days. I'll send word to you where you can meet me after you get the totem. Should you succeed, the Emperor has instructed me to gift you with an artifact of great power and renown. The Warlock's Ring. Ooh. So, 3rd and final castle. You like castle dungeons, right? Right. Hello. Hi. Right? Right. Okay, cool. So we're not on a timer. Let's talk about this stuff now. So let's talk about the vampire bloodlines. In this game, you can become a vampire. Woo! Vampirism. It is a disease. It is not affected by weakness or resistances. Yeah, you get this dream of a beautiful woman who's like bleeding out her eyes. It's fantastic. It's specific. Whenever you're injured by a vampire or vampire agent, there's a 1.22% chance you will contract that disease. Unless you're level 1, which I find funny. Yeah, so then you have... It's the same thing as it is in a lot of these games. You have plenty of chances to try and cure yourself of vampirism. But if you don't, you gain plus 20 to every attribute except intelligence, plus 30 to your climbing, crit, hand-to-hand, jumping, running, and stealth. You automatically gain levitation, calm humanoid, and charm mortal. Specific bloodlines give you specific spells. You gain immunity to paralysis and disease. And all spells granted by vampirism cost much cheaper than they would normally. However, you will take 12 damage every 4 minutes, as in every 20 seconds of real time while standing in sunlight or any place that's holy. You also need to feed on the blood of someone every 24 hours. Killing any living creature counts as feeding. If you fail to feed, you'll be unable to use the rest menu even to loiter, so you'll be unable to regenerate resources or pass the time. That is a horrific detriment in a game like this. Most creatures encountered are considered living, so there's no real issues there. However, since you technically died, your legal reputation is now reset. You are now a new, previously unknown individual in the eyes of the law. In addition, all guild memberships are revoked. For most guilds, you can just rejoin and receive a promotion. However, the Thieves Guild and the Dark Brotherhood have their own issues because you can only join those once. Acquiring vampirism after joining those means you cannot rejoin the Thieves Guild or the Dark Brotherhood. There are 9 bloodlines. Each of them give their own best pluses, and each of them are distributed. So what I find funny is there's a map here of which regions have which vampires. What I find funniest is most of them stretch across huge swaths of territory, and then there's like the Cambrians, or whoever these people are. No, that's actually the Vrasith, I guess. God, I'm not even sure. It's hard to read this thing. They have like one tiny little spit of land and that stuff. Anyways, once you get to vampires, you can of course get vampire quests. They're the same randomly generated crap everything else is. You can then, of course, cure vampirism. You can get a random letter from a hunter or begin a special mixture quest, which is a quest you can find at Witch Covens. Of course. Once after curing it, it is possible to become a vampire yet again, and you can just loop this forever. So that's cool. You can also become a werewolf. So, when you're injured by a lycanthrope, there is a 0.6% chance you will contract lycanthropy. When you've been infected, every time you rest after contracting it, a short cutscene will play, or you see yourself, and then, oh my god, and then you're a wolf. Oh my god, you're a wolf. You'll once again have 72 hours to cure yourself from the temple, or a potion, or a spell. After that, you are now a lycanthrope. Congrats. You gain plus 40 to strength, speed, agility, and endurance. You get plus 30 to various other skills. You gain access to lycanthropy, which is a once per day ability to switch between your forms. You're immune to diseases. You're also immune to iron and steel weapons while in form. This makes you immune to most guards. However, you feel the need to hunt innocents at least twice a month, every 15 days, 14 days plus the day you start counting, meaning you have to kill at least one NPC or guard in town every 15 days. If you don't, your max health will gradually decrease until it bottoms out at 4. Once you've killed a peasant or guard, it'll return to normal. During every full moon, you automatically change into your werewolf form and are unable to change back for the duration of the day. However, you will not change into your form during fast travel. Once a year, you'll receive a letter from a werewolf hunter stating he's marked you as his next target. He'll give you the option to cure yourself, or he'll try to kill you. If you arrive in a settlement while in your were form, the streets will be vacant. Only when you transform back will the citizens reappear. That's interesting. There's a ring in the game that gives you all the benefits of lycanthropy with few of the negative consequences. It's another Witch Coven quest, by the way. You can, in fact, cure lycanthropy, which is its own thing. That's it. There's no quests or anything other than the obvious cure. So that's lycanthropy. Cool. Then we have... I guess we'll talk about the covens, since that keeps coming up. So... Covens are located in the wilderness of the bay. They often consist of a big mound the size of a house, 2 guards, which is of the coven inside. To find a coven, a map with location is helpful, though unnecessary if you know where to look. All you need to know is which square they're in. These directions put you there. Yeah, so you have to find a game... Yeah, I didn't even know covens were in this game, by the way. That's how not in the game it is. There are 14 witch covens, manually placed. All of their gathering places are are in the werewolf. Excuse me. So, like the Daggerfall place. Let's actually. I think I should show this off. So where is this? This is Woodham Manor. There it is. Let's go up top here. Okay, so it is... Nope, wrong button. I know. That is actually going to be a trip. We're going to be here a minute. So while we're doing this scintillating travel, what can we do at Covens? Let's see here. Give me a second. So you can summon a Daedra at a coven. Sweet. That appears to be one of the only major things, other than a couple of side quests. Cool. So I guess we'll talk about summoning Daedra. Covens will only summon a random Daedra no matter what the summoning day is. Useful if you missed a summoning day for a Daedra and don't want to wait a year. Oh yeah, by the way, there's summoning days for specific Daedra. There we go, Daedric summoning. So, it is no common service, it is one nonetheless. The only reason to summon a Daedric prince is to gain possession of their artifact. Few can perform this service, therefore access is restricted. People of noble origin have means to access Daedric summoner. It's rumored every ruler has their own Daedric summoner at court. Common people can gain access to it by joining certain factions, such as the Mages Guild or the Witches' Coven. They require a service, aka a quest. Oh, we have to be rank 6 at Mages Guild, or rank 7, 6, or 8, depending at the temples. And of course, Witches' Covens just do it. Where are we at? Still going. Yep, okay. Sorry, I'm amused here. Because Sheogorath has his own summoning day. However, there's a 15% chance on a thunderstorm that he'll be summoned. Thunderstorms do not exist in this game. I remember reading about that. You may not summon a Daedric Prince twice. There'll be blah. It costs hundreds of thousands of gold to summon a Daedra, by the way. In fact, the base price is 200,000. Oh, hello. I found a dungeon, which is not what I wanted. I need to get further south. Yeah, nothing could possibly go wrong from summoning a Daedric. It's fine, it's fine, everything's fine. We found a dungeon, which is not what I was looking for. Okay, so it costs a bajillion gold to summon. There's also a success chance associated with summoning. There's a dungeon to go to. I found a random dungeon. Oh my gosh, run! Let's see. So there's the summoning days for each of the princes, blah, 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 blah. Their quests are pretty basic. For example, Clavicus Vile wants you to kill a werewolf in a random dungeon. So it's yet another random quest. Cool. I love random quests. You can get artifacts from them. So just randomly, let's look up what the Mask of Clavicus does. Here we go. Improves reputation as if you have a constant charm spell going. Okay. The Ogma Infinium just gives you 30 attribute points to distribute. The Ring of Khajiit gives you a speed buff always and gives you an on-use invisibility. The Ring of Demira, opponent takes damage from their own, so a Thorns effect. However, it lowers the durability of the artifact. The Sanguine Rose, which summons a Daedra to fight for you. Skeleton Key, which increases your dodge by plus 15. Also casts an open spell. This is the Wabbajack. Turns an opponent into another creature type. Works only once ever. Okay. Cool. Does it work from the final boss? That's an interesting question, which I do not have an answer to. I suppose it's a good time today to talk about the Thieves Guild, but first let's see where we are. We passed it. We actually passed it. So we're in the right cell right now to where the coven is. So it's somewhere near where we are right now, somewhere within the current cell block. I don't see anything. I don't know about you guys. Imagine having a random thing in the wilderness of this game. Just picture that for a second. What kind of masochist? What kind of sadist? Actually. I know exactly where the stupid thing... Well, I say exactly. I know what the block where the stupid thing is, and I still can't find it. Anyways, Thieves Guild, right? So, Thieves Guild. All you have to do is rob a bunch. And then they're like, hey, you should join us. Because they're all Ferengi, you see. So they, oh god. Ugh, okay. So they have fencers, which obviously will also buy magical items in the lot. They offer quests, which is the usual. They have spy masters. I don't know what that is. We'll check that in a second. They have trainers, which is obvious. Their quests are the usual. Do random stuff, because there are no other quests. So the Spy Master acts like any other NPC, except the information they give you for rumors are always true. Interesting. So that's what that actually kind of makes sense. And yeah, you can bribe officials. And let's see what else can you do here. Yeah, bribe the judge. Reveal dungeons on the map. Access to the feds. Access to the Spy Master. Reveal another dungeon. Reveal another dungeon. There you go. There's the benefits of the Thieves Guild. The Dark Brotherhood, by contrast. To join the Dark Brotherhood, you have to kill at least 3 innocent civilians or 15 town guards. I'm shocked we haven't qualified for that with all the people in the castles we've killed. So it operates on a point system. Guards are worth 1 point. Ouch. The Dark Brotherhood has a lot of ranks and gives you access to bribing to get rid of wanted level, undiscovered dungeons, access to the potion seller, access to a potion maker, access to a soul gem merchant, and then access to a spy master. It's kind of like a more violent version of the Thieves Guild. And of course, you know, you get random quests, because of course you do. There are no manual quests. Shush. Let's see if Ben One Eye's horrifically evil idea counts. Let's just type Coven. Oh my god! There is actually a Coven on the list. 1 Coven. Which is, interestingly enough, not one of the Covens on my list here. I think this is a dungeon, not a Coven. And I'm right, because here it is. Yeah, this is a dungeon. So I guess the answer to your question, Benoit, is no. All right. Well. Double check something really quick. Come on. Good morning, Evo. We just finished talking about vampires, werewolves, and covens, and Daedric summoning. All of which you could just go through the entire game and not even know was there. Seriously, I didn't know which covens were even in this game. That's what I thought. How many factions are there? What do you count as a faction? I'm not being facetious, because it kind of depends. For example, we have the Dark Brotherhood, then we have the Fighters Guild, then we have the Mages Guild. Then we have the 9 Temples, then we have the 9 Knightly Orders. There's the... Then we get to... Each kingdom, each region, and each major NPC all has their own faction flagging. There's the 9 vampire bloodlines we just mentioned. There's many covens, which I'm not going to list right here. That's true, Dr. Annie actually thought about that. But you're right. I'm probably missing a few. There's a couple, is what I'm trying to say. Let me go ahead and jot something down here super quick. All right. Let's do this. You also own a house in every town that has a bank. Do I want to know how many towns have banks? Obviously, like, that would cost an amount of money that we can't even come close to. Hello, Elizar. Apparently, a house gives you a place to rest. You can put loot in there, and that's it. That's the purpose of a house. Can't even cosmeticize it. What's the point of... Okay. Here's a fun thing. If you store too many items in your home or your ship, the game will crash. That sounds like a softlock territory to me. Okay. Wake up, Laura. Let's do this. Let's beat the game by doing the second to last dungeon. Item number limiter. The actual issue is memory. Yeah, Bethesda has never known how to program around memory. Literally never. I don't think they know what memory means. In programming terms or in real life. So someone asked earlier if Daggerfall was a particularly well-selling game or well-known game. I was thinking about that last night, too, because I was talking about it with PAX. I don't think Daggerfall made much of a splash, so I'm going to go with no on that. Arena, honestly, most people I knew never even heard of Arena. I knew about both because I'm a weirdo. So, of course, I actually care about the RPG scene and have since it has existed. But most people I knew didn't hear about this series until Morrowind showed up. Morrowind made a splash, and if we're being honest, at least part of that was because it was also on console. Okay. And no, I have not, Elizar, sorry. Yeah, Morrowind pretty much put Bethesda on the map. Let's just say it how it is. Oblivion was a juggernaut, but that's different, aren't they? Like, Oblivion hit Grand Theft Auto levels, and most people don't realize that most games don't even come close. Like, you think about big games, GTA levels are stupid. Juggernaut games are what the game companies want every game they put out to be. You know, the horrifically unrealistic expectations thing. There's not very many Juggernaut games out there. There's like Grand Theft Auto, there's God of War, there's Mario Kart. Is this the right door? Is this the right door? Where am I going? Where am I going? FF14? No, actually. WoW would. That's not a dig. I'm not saying WoW's better than FF3. I'm just being honest. FF14 made a splash. It is the second biggest non-Korean MMO. It's a fight archer. But it's not a Juggernaut game. Where am I going? Southwest door of the throne room. There's really only one option. It's this one. Oh yeah, absolutely Dark Day. That's the catch, isn't it? Okay. Southwest door. Okay, they're trying to kill me. Trying to kill me. They're trying to kill me. This is where? What? This is the throne room, right? Maybe it means this door. It does mean this door. Okay, guys, I don't have time for this. You're all dead. You're all dead. You're all dead. They just poisoned me. I'm not going to accept that, actually. I'm going to just reload. That's not worth my time. Okay, so, dungeon start. Yeah, let's get some dungeon-y music going, shall we? Absolutely not. No, Elizar. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. First of all, I don't do song requests in general. Second of all, I don't do song requests, especially if it's a song I don't know. Third of all, if you want me to get copywronged into oblivion, there's no faster way to do it than to ask me to play a song from a band on camera. No. Okay, so it looks like we're going here. Big room. Oh, kill people. Kill people. Why do all these castles have, like, monsters and dead people in their castles? Why is this a thing? Why are you here, sir? Why are you here? And then again, why do the inside of castles look like this? Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to do it. Yeah, that's the other thing. Almost every GTA game has been a system seller to some extent or another. Arguably not as much as GTA 3, but it's still been true. Okay, so I fell, which I did not want to do. Looks like I want to get up there. That's easy. Whoops, I meant to put that on random. There we go. Yeah, Elizar. Like, I know you don't understand, and that's cool, but no. I'm stamping down on this as hard as I can to make it clear. This is a non-starter. Please drop this topic, Elizar. I don't know how to be more polite about it. No. Okay, so, Central Tower, I think. What are we doing here? Just reach the top platform of the Central Tower. I'm assuming that means this? Where's north? This is north. Okay. Why would I ever use Spotify? God, that would be such a terrible idea. Sorry. Does anyone use Spotify? No judgment. Yeah, see, I keep all my music local. This is all my music that I have locally. Half of this music I ripped myself. But I also know which songs are on which playlist, and therefore which playlists to never play on camera. Well, okay, so what are we doing? Follow the ledge west, go north past the knight. Hey, an adamantine dagger. What the hell is adamantium in this game? It's a crap dagger, too. It's not very good. Nope, no, don't. What's the damn thing? There we go. What am I doing? Go through door. So here's the draw. Ah! Oh, that could be. No durability cost. Goodbye. So, there's our goal. A giant vault suspended in the middle of a giant room, surrounded by force fields. Is this Ultima again? Is that just where we're at? Okay. So you're asking about what's referred to as the brown era of gaming, Elizar. It is a very common terminology. It has nothing to do with zero punctuation. Sorry, this game doesn't qualify. This is before that. It's funny when you think about it. Okay, so the goal is to go down. Not at all, Mr. Red. Do I like the worst era in gaming? No. No, I do not enjoy the worst era in gaming. And then I died. I blame Elizar for my death. How could you do this to me, Elizar? I trusted you. Ah, I love that. Those fatigue spells. Those are just fantastic. What games do I enjoy from that era? Ugh, okay, that's actually a tough one. It's probably plenty of console-y stuff. Like everything on the GBA. Whoops, that's the wrong spell. There we go. Yeah, Twilight Princess, obviously. So there's another console game. Final Fantasy 12, yeah. In fact, it would be easier to pick things that are not console-y, because the console games didn't really have the Brown era as bad as, you know, PC space did. Dragon Age Origins? That's actually a funny one. Dragon Age Origins came out after the Brown era of gaming, but because its development period was so long, for all intents and purposes, it is a Brown era game. Like it was intended to be, you know. Heal fatigue. There it is. Okay, we're in the pit. This is great. This is where I want to be. I want to loosen that thing so it'll fall right here. That's actually a good question. When did the Brown era, like, really die out? Let's see. Hang on, I'm going to ignore chat for a sec, because I got to understand what I'm doing here. At the bottom are two passages. You sure about that game? So I'm gonna go southwest. This looks promising. Yeah, there's slaughterfish. That's good. That's good. Good, good. Someone keeps casting spells at me. I think it's actually traps. Okay, that led us back here. Perfect! Okay, so that was not where I wanted to go. Let's try this one, then. Chains! Okay, perfect. Okay. The right chain casts water breathing. The middle chain teleports you. The left chain teleports you, but in midair. Each chain can only be used once. Okay. So, hang on. So if I use a chain now, I've soft-locked myself, just to put this into very clear perspective. Like, seriously, if I use the teleport chain right now, I cannot beat this level without cheating. So, whoop. God, it's like the dude up there somewhere. Whatever. So now, I need to go this way somewhere. This way? Maybe? No. Has to be this way, then. Okay, Ice Atronach, which bleeds, of course. And a wheel. Okay, so we're going to turn the wheel. Yep. So now we're trapped down here. Perfect. This is what we wanted. Now we use those chains to get out. This is what I meant earlier. Okay, so... the left chain? No. Middle chain, I think. Hey, okay, we're cool, we're cool. We're gaming. Oh, me too, Reggie. That's what happens every day. That's as a secret vampire. That's how I get my blood, is I put it in ice cubes. Whatever. Okay. Okay, so there's a lever on top of the cube. Okay. Pulling it will lower the blue bars that proc entry in some of the chambers. Okay. That's certainly a thing that seems to be happening. Ah! Who is shooting me? Why are you shooting me? Because you're trying to rob the vault. How do you know? I can just be testing the vault. You've killed dozens of people. No, I've killed hundreds of people. Thank you. Get it right. I don't actually know, Evo. I know refrigerating blood is actually an issue. Medically, I mean, not as I'm not a secret vampire. Am I even doing damage to this person? I can't tell. Certainly their health doesn't seem to be moving. Hey! We killed them! Correct. But we are very close to the end. Very close. Yes, yes. Soon, soon. Okay. So we've hit the frickin' lever. Oh, God. Hang on. I need to save really quick. I feel like I have a Hearthstone set. Okay, I do. Perfect. So let's reload. That is the goal, Benwanite, to make sure you never have to watch me again. That's the real secret reason I streamed this, is to get rid of you as a viewer, to free you from the yoke of my horribleness. What? Whatever. I don't know. Daggerfall. I don't know. I don't know. I give up. I give up on everything. Magic items. Precious. Sorry. Anyways, there's the totem. We now have the most powerful artifact. Well, I don't want to say ever. It's certainly up there. So, hang on, wait. Appropriate music. Appropriate music is very important. As we pick up the totem, you are runner. You are my new host. Know this now and resolutely. You are not worthy to carry the totem of Tiber Septim. Only those of his bloodline may carry me. I will give you a year and a day to accomplish this. So we now have a very, very casual timer, okay? We have to find someone to give this stupid totem to. Now, I'm gonna tell you who we can turn this into in a second, but first let's go ahead and warp out of here. Oh, we're way down here in Sentinel. Yeah, so it's funny you say that, Ben. I was kind of hoping one of these guys to show up. Hello? Hello. Become of the correct bloodline. Just do it. Just do it. Where is this guy? Hang on 1 second, sorry. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So a lot of people know we have the totem now. 7, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 people know we have the totem. Including the cat. Yeah, let's just go to Senkrator. Yum, yum, yum. I now have the blood. I guess we'll just randomly port to Daggerfall, see what happens. So, a letter floats through the air towards you. Strangely, nobody else seems to notice it. The letter tucks itself into your pack. A hand grips your wrist from behind. Spinning, you open your mouth to shout for guards. A skeletal hand stuffs a letter into your mouth. A heavily robed skeleton releases your wrist and turns away, unnoticed by other passerbys. A heavily cloaked figure shuffles towards you. As you prepare to defend yourself, a gnarled green hand shoots forth with a letter. Stunned, you do nothing as the figure shuffles away. A portly man bearing the standard of Wayrest approaches you with a letter. His somber expression never changes, and he speaks not a word. He leaves as silently as he arrived. Okay, so that's most of them. It's like 4 of them right there. Oh man, this game is so beloved. Is this game beloved? Is that a thing? Okay, so we just got so this is Lady Eadwe. Eadwe? Eadwe? Eadweir? I don't know, Lady Twitface of Wayrest. My ears have picked up rumors that you were searching for the totem of Tiber Septim. I, too, have hunted for this wondrous artifact for many years. Should you find it, I would pay you a healthy ransom, enough to buy your own ship. I will match or exceed any price that Gothrid or Akorathi might offer. Never forget your real friends. We also got a message from Gortwog, the head of the orcs. You are not orcish. How could you possibly understand what it is like? My people are treated like barbarians, slaughtered on sight. It's so unusual we respond in kind. Violence begets violence. I aspire to raise my race from the mire. I will bring them to equal standing with the other races of Tamriel. To do this, I must have the totem of Tiber Septim. I will not insult you by promises that no blood will be shed. I do swear by my crown and by my heirs I shall not attempt to hold sway beyond the borders of Orsinium. My goal is not to conquer, but to create an orcish homeland. I am in possession of an artifact that I am sure you would want to possess. It is yours if you but give me the totem of Tiber Septim. From the King of Worms, you will soon have the totem of Tiber Septim in your hands. It is foreseen in the stars, and I have read them. Know you this, all of mortal stature are filled with pride and greed. To give the totem to any of them is to let loose mortal vanity upon the world. They will destroy the very thing they covet. I have no earthly desires. Dude, I've seen your harem. I have no mortal pride, no petty greed. Only one such as I can wield the totem safely. For I would take it into the Aetherius and leave behind... Oh, God. Leave behind this earthly shell. So long as the totem exists, it is a danger to all on Tamriel. Bring me the totem, and I will safeguard the world. I will not offer you gold or gems. I offer you what only I can give. Fame. Your reputation will soar. And we have one from Lady Braziana. If you're reading this, you must have gotten the totem and escaped from the dungeons of Castle Daggerfall. I am in the wicking matter of Daggerfall, the Kingcroft residence. Bring the totem as soon as possible. Or, last option, Underking. No. Centuries ago, Tiber Septim ruled the land and forged an empire with the great Numidian. The secret of Numidian's power lies in its heart, carried within the Mantella. It is the heart of Tiber Septim's battle mage. It's my heart. It's my Mantella, my totem. It belongs to me and none other. I have won and lost an empire. I have no desire to tamper further with mortal affairs. I have in my possession the Necromancer's amulet, one of the world's greatest artifacts. You may have it in exchange for the totem. My most loyal agents await you at this place, the Under King. So, we have a choice to make. You know how most games have like that one thing? It's usually actually a pretty small part of the game, but it's the one thing everyone remembers. It's the one thing everything talks about. Well, this is the thing for Daggerfall. We are days into this, and this is the first time this thing has even poked its head in. But yeah, we actually get to choose who wins in the Iliac Bay. So our options are Akarithi, which, sure, it's a noble. All the nobles are pretty much the same general idea. Akarithi, Edwir, and Gothrid. We can give it to the Emperor, the person who sent us here to find it. We can give it to Manny Marco, one of the most evil, horrifically villainous people in the entire setting across multiple games. We can give it to Gortwog, help the orcs establish Orsinium. Or we can give it to the King of Worms, who just wants to bail. I should mention, if we give it to Gothrid, so Gothrid doesn't send us a letter. Gothrid sends us assassins. Immediately. Like, I'm just kind of standing here on purpose, hoping some assassins will spawn. Because he just sends assassins after you constantly. It's just a normal thing from now on. So, let's see. I should mention, the payment they offer is 100,000 gold from the nobility. You get that from Akarithi or... I guess no one. Just her. But here's the funny thing about that, okay? You can't carry 100,000 gold. It's not actually possible, even with max strength. So, you have to do some interesting game exploity shenanigans to be physically capable of looting the 100,000 gold that she pays you. Like, you have to essentially bug the quest into not finishing until you're standing at a bank. And then when you're at the bank, you trigger the quest, and then, like, drop it, but only in certain type. Like, there's a certain way you have to drop it. I forget the details. You have to drop it in a certain way so it doesn't despawn. And then you have to loot only a certain amount of it. Immediately dump into the bank, and then repeat this process until you've picked up all the gold and dump it all in the bank. Hey, game developers, stop making currency have weight. Sincerely, the world. Anyways. If we can actually talk... No. Starfield didn't have weight to currency. If we talk to Edwir, the guy who's sending assassins after us, he will say, I will give you plenty of gold. He will not. He does not give you gold. He will, however, send people to kill you as the reward. So, yeah. Gortwog was supposed to give you the Warlock's Ring. Thanks to a patch, it was supposed to be Chrysamere. Thanks to bugs, it's actually nothing, so you get nothing for giving it to Gortwog. If you give it to Gothrid, he gives you 10,000 gold. Sure. Now, here's a fun one. I'll come back to that. If you give it to the Underking, you get the Undercurse Master's Amulet. If you give it to the Emperor, you get the Warlock's Ring, for real. But here's the funny one. If you give it to Manny Marco, the reward he gives you is plus 100 reputation with everything. Now, if you don't understand... Cat, what are you doing? If you don't understand, most rep gains in this game are around 5 to 15. Like, most quests in this game require 15 rep to start, right? And you get like 5 rep for doing such and such. 100 rep is gargantuan. Everyone will love you forever. If it worked. However, thanks to a bug, you actually get nothing. So if you turn it into Manny Marco, you gain nothing. Somehow that feels appropriate. But it is a bug, and so we will ding it as a bug. The low reason for getting reputation? He's like the chief necromancer. I don't know, dude. He makes all the undead wake up and be like, "Hey, have you heard about that Mr. Red dude? He's so cool." Yeah, so there's not really a lot of viable choices, really. I mean, yeah, considering that Manamarco probably wants to use the Numidian. Anyways, so let's who do we turn it into is really the question. So like I said, we could get a bunch of gold that we can't pick up because of bad game design. We could get nothing. We could get nothing. We could get nothing. We could get nothing. Or we could turn it into the Underking or Bresciana. That is to say, the Emperor. To be very clear about this, as far as I'm concerned, those are the only two real choices here. Maybe giving it to Gortwalk, but really, those are the only two choices here. So who do we give it to? The Underking or Bresciana? We take it for ourselves. Oh yeah, like most BRPGs, you can keep playing when you finish the main story quest. In fact, you're actually encouraged to. See, that's what I would think, Plutonian. That's why I mentioned Gortwalk is kind of like, Like, the Numidian is a reality warp. I mean, yeah, it's a giant mecha. But no, it's a reality warping device, which has access to time. It's one of those things where it's like, hey, you never existed. And you're like, oh. That's cool. Okay, peace. You know. I'll talk about the Dragon Break in a minute. Anyways, let's go ahead and do what I consider to be the canon ending. The only ending that actually makes any freaking sense to me if we're to consider this a franchise. We're going to give it to the King of War, the Underking, sorry, the other king. So he's in a random spot, which in this case is Kostri at the Temple of Kynareth. Kostri. But yes, thanks to reality warping and general weirdness, for those of you who've never heard of the Dragon Break, or the Second Numidian Incident as it's sometimes called, all of these endings are canon. What you think of that is up to you, and honestly, I don't plan to do a full discussion on that yet, because, frankly, it doesn't actually matter yet. It matters more for Morrowind. The agent, meanwhile, just vanishes from reality. That one irritates me a little bit. At least they tried to explain that the Neverine headed north, right? But the agent just vanishes. Gone. Alright, The Underking will be most pleased. He has searched many lifetimes for this lost item. I've been instructed to give you this object. Use it wisely should you ever locate the Mantella. The Underking would be most appreciative. The unmistakable voice of Nilfgaard speaks softly in your head. I see the totem has found its way into the hands of someone with royal blood. I think it's time you paid me another visit in Shedungund. Your work here is not yet done. Okay. I mean, the agent is a blade, right? So, like, they could have done something with that. Even if it was just a mention, you know, during Oblivion, where we work with the blades a lot. Or in Morrowind, we work with the blade as part of the early quest chain. But no. No, the agent is just poof. Guys, I know you hate continuity, but could you quit it? Oh god, where's Shedungun? I actually don't remember. Hang on. Yeah, exactly, Plutonian. Literally just a mention of the agent would have been nice. My friend or something, anything. But yeah, that's actually a valid point. I don't know what happens with the champion from Arena. I actually don't know the champion like that much at all. I think it was the champion, right? Oh god, hang on. I gotta look it up. The Eternal Champion, that's right, because that's our reward, is being called the Eternal Champion. I remember that. So eternal that they vanished from existence. Yeah, they just don't exist after Arena. They're just gone. It's funny because Daggerfall, I actually talked about this during the Elder Scrolls lore run. The era of the Imperial Simulacra and Daggerfall single-handedly caused so much damage that they've been untangling the consequences of that for years and years and multiple games. And yet, Arena is like the least relevant other than that. Nobody knows about the freaking champion. Nobody knows about, like, anything. It's just, Dream Whisperer. Witcher 3. Baldur's Gate 3. And Mass Effect Andromeda. Do you mind explaining that one to me, Dream Whisperer? I mean, thank you for the sub, but you are confusing me. Either I need to get should done good. Yeah, we did a modern review of Andromeda April of this year. Like, that's not even that long ago. That was just a few months ago. So, no. I will not play that. I will not review that a second time. Or technically a third time, but really a second time. I know you really want me to do another review of Andromeda. But I think we're good. I think we're good. I mean, I'm kind of with you on that, Ben, when I... Oh, Atronachs. Ah, yes, the iron bleeds, as usual. That I can do. Plague. Yeah, done. Anyways, if you want to watch the Andromeda run, like I said, April, it's obviously already on YouTube. You can find all the links on the website, as you always can. For those of you not aware, I actually go to great lengths to make sure that all that stuff is archived on the website. So that review page, the big table on the review page, those links go directly to the first VOD, and it actually links specifically to the playlist. So you don't have to go looking for the second or third or fourth or fifth VODs. It should just play in order from that link. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, could you not? Only crowned heads will hold the totem true. First is one who killed, but one did not kill another. Second is one who was too devoured by its young. Third is one who made one slave and many free. Fourth and fifth are who compete for mud. That's the nobles. Sixth is the one who brings a home to the homeless. That's the orc. Seventh is the one who lords over all, but does not lord at all. Cute. Someone killed the bot, too, while we're at it. Ah! Oh god, that's it. Tamriel just exists in the middle of the Mediterranean. It's a great idea for a story. I should do something with that. Patch Trail in other waters. Homeworld. Praise Akatosh. Thank you, Bregman, as always. Okay, so. Here we are. I do not know who of these 7 is most worthy of the power, for too long have I let my passions make me mad. Sometimes the fate of a world hangs on the decision of one person. You've chosen who will command the great Numidian. You bear the burden for the consequence. I send you now to the Mantella Crux, the safeguarded prison of the Mantella. Look for a green jewel of unusual size. Merely touch the Mantella and it is freed. You will be transported back to my side. So, hang on. For the first time in quite a while, we're going to turn on the in-game music. Because... yeah, welcome to hell, by the way. This is the Mantella Crux. I shouldn't have saved in here. I should not have saved in here. It's too late now, but let's go ahead and, like, set up a new save here. That's an interesting question, Mr. Red. No more boobs. No more boobs. And we're dead. Wow, that just... wow. Insta-death. Yeah, so that's this dungeon in a nutshell, by the way. Yeah, so this place does not exist in Oblivion or Mundus. Where it is, other than that, that gets into some debatables, which even the actual creators and writers disagree on. So, your guess at that point is as good as mine. Jesus, she drains that fast. Yeah, that's a Daedra Seducer, and they suck, as I just demonstrated. I should mention I'm not exactly low level or particularly under-geared. This place just is mean. That's all there is to it. Okay. Yep, she sucked all of my... oh, wait a minute. Ben One Eye, come on, come on. Alright, so we can go west, east, south, or north. Which door do you think? Which door? That's funny you say that. So the world record for this game, set only 3 years ago, is 19 minutes and 33 seconds. Okay, so the correct door is... so if we go through the west door, it just damages you, which is great. Anyway, so south door. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, at this point, they pretty much expect you to have access to certain things. I don't mind that. This is the last dungeon of the game, but... sure hope you brought a way to levitate. That should be open. Okay. That's strange. Try that again. Nope. Why is that not opening the way? Did you do something up here? Um... Instructions unclear. Well, anyway, so the door opens. Hey, look at that. We hit the lever in here. And then this door... Why are these doors not opening? I'm actually confused by this. What? What? Okay, hold on. What? Oh, that's interesting. This bust actually casts Levitate on you if you interact with it. To be honest, that would not occur to me. Aha, okay, so there's a lever here I missed. So let's hit this lever. Okay. Now we go down. And... like, hit the south door, which should enable us to go through... Hey, look! It actually is opened! Woo! Okay, so then we hit that lever. Close back up to here. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, back up, back up, back up. This, wow, okay. Back up to here. Okay. I have to recast Levitate in a second. Just give it a moment. See, speaking of someone who likes video game levels, I don't think this is going to score very well. This particular level. Okay, so. Fly up until you're right below the ceiling of the giant room. There's a doorway in the southwest corner. Which is that one over there. Which should be open. Why isn't it open? I mean, we got this thing open. Maybe I've hit the lever again. Surely that'll change something. Nope, it's still closed. What? Okay. And now it's open. It's not open. Why is it not open? What am I doing wrong? On the east side of the island is a small cavern right below the surface. Levitate down, pull the lever in. With levers pulled, flow back up to the middle island containing the demon bust. If the levitate where spell wears out, bust it deep bust again, and then fly up until you're right below the ceiling of the giant room in which the islands are floating. There's an open doorway in the southwest corner. There really isn't. In fact, neither doorway is open up here. But, and the doorway's open. Hey, okay, cool. So. Follow the hallway until it turns north. I'm just going to chalk that up to straight bug. I have no idea what's going wrong with that, and I don't care at this point. Oh yeah, by the way, who wants to see this dungeon? It's not too bad. It's not too bad. This is fine. It's fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. All right, so. Okay. When you come to a four-way intersection, keep going north. Oh, Mr. Red. I'm going to chop off the guessing game soon-ish, by the way, if everybody hasn't updated their guesses. Please don't give me vampirism now. That is possible, and that's not something I want to deal with right now. Thanks. Vampire Destroyer, head the follow further up. Eventually come to a force field blocking the way to the west. Oh, a giant scorpion. Okay, to the west. Yeah, to the west. Seducers. Okay. I mean, you are gold. Yeah, but that's unrelated. Let's get some recovery in this place. Okay. Follow the hallway further south. You'll come to a lever guarded by an enemy. Kill it, pull the lever. Lowers the force field. Go past the vanished force field and pull lever number 3. This will lower second force field right in front of you. Pull lever 4 and follow the hallway. Don't pull lever number 2 or we'll raise the hallway even further down the hall. Continue down the hallway until... What? Yes, 100%, Mr. Red. I was trying to explain to Pax exactly what this game was like last night. And I wanted to make it clear that he did not understand. There we go. Okay. But... What? Okay. Sure, game. Along the hallway north. Oh no. This garbage tag, as I've pointed out a few times, is a little bit further down than some people seem to think. Okay. Pull lever number 5. Boom. All the way back to the beginning. Very likely been one-eye, which is why I'm kind of fumbling my way through. This would be the first dungeon that's true in, too, which is even doubly frustrating. Like, why would they change how the levers work in this dungeon and nowhere else? Oh, God, what if they randomized it? What if they randomized the levers in this dungeon? Think about that for a sec. Ow. Yeah, speaking of, and we go through the very open door, which is open. I'm going to chalk it up to bugs, though. I'm just going to jot that down right now. Negative to bug. Okay. I can barely hear this music. There we go. So now we should be able to enter this door. Yay! What is this guy? Oh, he hurts. He hurts. He hurts. Yeah, but in the finale, we need the legit experience, Mr. Red. That's a Daedra Lord? Okay, sure. Alright, we're here. We did it. Alright. Rest while we have the availability to. Get a backup save, no reason. And here's part 2 of the dungeon. By the way, there's 6 parts to this dungeon. Okay. Go west through the door. Whoop, 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 whoop. Hello. What? What? No, wait! Ah! We're dead. Oh, we actually didn't die from that. Hang on. Okay, not cool, guys. Not cool. Not cool. Not cool. Not cool. And we're dead. Oof, okay. Let them fight for a second. I don't want to bet that's a Tremora. No? That... Well, okay. This thing. To be honest, I'm not really a fan of this dungeon all that much. It's just, it's not what I would call impressing me, you know? There we go. He's down there now. Okay, that's a gargoyle. Okay, cool. Ignore the vampires. Let's go to safe haven. What am I doing? Ow. If you levitate, this will be an obstacle. Otherwise, try not to fall. The big island is 3 vampires and an ancient vampire. Okay. So that's our goal, is the vampires. Great. Okay, cool. That's what I want, is to deal with vampires. You know, vampires, we could just live and let live, right? Like, that's a thing. We could just be cool. We don't have to be enemies, right? Really. Really, it's cool. We could just be cool. Be cool? Maybe? Please? Please? Okay, well, you're all dead now. That's what you get for not being cool. We could have been cool. Well, while we're here, let's deal with this lich. Hey, come here, lich. You're preventing me from resting. I can't sleep while you're here. Ow. Look, I need you to die. Ah, damn, lich! Okay. It's true! The Count is the ultimate of all vampires. Where's that stupid lich? He's over there. Yeah, what? We're not in space. We can just stand wherever we want to. Let's see if I can just rest up here. Oh yeah, we're far enough away from the lich. We're good. We're fine. We're fine. Okay. I'm curious, what is my dagger up to? 63%. I'm in the last dungeon. My dagger only got to 63%. I've been using this thing this whole game. Okay. One of these graves is not like the others. Here lies the spirit of Benefactor, though his body still guards the way. Okay. So hang on. So this is the white gravestone. So I need to click this one. Or maybe this one. I give up. How you liking this last dungeon music? Oh, this is great. None of these gravestones appear to be doing anything. It's kind of suspicious because they're supposed to be doing something. Okay. Right. Yeah, Dr. Winter. Let's get Levitate going again. Okay. A lot of levers in here. 4 down here. Okay, pull this lever. Okay, so we need to get down to here? No, I can't be possibly right here, maybe? Oh, here we go, here we go, to this. Okay, this is helpful. Probably also gonna go over here, honestly. Okay, could you not? I really don't care about you. Go away. Very appropriate background. Oh yeah, there's the pyramid. How much further are we going? Oh god. Oh god. Okay. Okay, so there's a levitate, and then we go up here, right? Right. Right. Hello? What the crap is this? I guard the way. Speak only my name, and I'll grant you passage. Benefactor. Okay. Here's the best part. Because of how weird the graves were earlier, I'm pretty sure that some of these levers didn't actually work. That one did, at least, because the trapdoor is open. I think so, actually, Dakota. That is an ancient bitch. Ooh, that's a fun one. Oh, he didn't die from the impact. Oh, no, there he goes. Okay. Ah! Ah! Stop sucking. Okay, we're okay, we're okay. Stop looting, Lord God. Can you imagine looting in a game when you know you don't need loot anymore and you're just kind of doing it out of habit? Just sitting there like, we know. We know you gotta go back down here later. Speaking of, can I rest? Oh, I can. I think we've killed everything in the nearby area. Okay. Elevator number 2. True. That's not quite what I meant. Yeah, I was thinking of RPGs where you get loot in the final dungeon and you can't use it anymore. Whatever. Down we go again. Knock the vampire down. Jump into the pit with a vampire. Find a teleport spot we didn't expect to find there. No, don't know where we are now. Oh, where the hell are we? Oh, dear God. Okay, hold on, hold on. Okay, no, this is good, this is good. This is section 3 of the dungeon now. We're okay. God. Okay, this dungeon. I need just a second, if you'll forgive me. I won't be long. You're right. There hasn't been a dungeon like this. Not sure what to make of it. Maybe it's a good thing the other dungeons are random. They're merely bad. Alright, so. Okay, go through the door. Where do we end? Where do we start at here? Put it over here, right? Open space. Okay, I like being an open space. This is cool. In the center is a shrine-like building and a rock dome. Follow the path down to the shrine. We'll just do this. Battlespire. Ah, that sounds like a terrible game, but what Veto, by the way. If Arena Source ever comes out, I checked its progress yesterday. It's not very far along. I will consider that for Arena, but I'm never touching Redguard. I'm never touching Battlespire. No one cares. Okay, so we're here. What do we do? What do we do? There's a blue obelisk. I'm looking for a blue obelisk. This is not a blue obelisk. I feel lied to. Saber-toothed tiger just... Whoop! Frost Atronach! Frost Atronach! Sorry, Frost Daedra. That's even worse. Stop looting, lore! Bad lore. Bad. There's a lever. Now we're back here. Okay. None of that's what I wanted. I think. Basically, yes, Mr. Red. This is it. This is the end. You want to guess what the last boss is? I'll give you a hint. It's an Elder Scrolls game, and they've never had good last bosses. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't want to go to the bottom. Hang on. Nope, no, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this. And this. Okay, so Mr. Red thinks it's Random Man with stats. Why is this door not open? Okay. A dragon! I like it. So we've got... Pull the lever. Okay. That gets rid of the crate. Which allows us to pull a lever. Which allows us to open a door. Which allows us to touch a crystal. And now we're here. With, seducers who keep kneeling in front of us for some reason. For reasons I'm not sure I want to know more about. Oh geez, oh geez, oh geez. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Holy crap. Oh my god, that is some serious fatigue damage. Please die, please die, please die. Oh my god, okay. Whew. That was a thing. Okay, so... Okay, so... I love this. Second door to the west is a vicious trap. If you touch it, you'll be teleported into a cage, lowered into a room with orc soldiers. Oh my god. Even if you kill the orc soldiers, you cannot get out of the cage. You'll be trapped unless you've set a recall anchor outside of it. Or use a levitate spell to glitch out of the cage. Oh my god, that's a hell of a gotcha. That's an awful gotcha. Wow, okay. There's actually quite a few gotchas in this game. Legitimately. And those are just the ones I've noticed. Sorry, I'm just jotting down some stuff so I can have... Okay, so let's not go through that room, shall we? Southeast door. Which one? The one that's facing south or the one that's facing east? It's another dark seducer. Getting tired of these things. Stop seducing me. God. Busy. Trying to alter reality and time. Okay, so we want to go this way. Okay. 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 Hear me, the blind God is a jealous God. Let his true servants lift up their eyes unto him. Well, it'll be easy. Hear me. Whoop, hello. What's an orc doing in here? How did an orc get into Etherius? And I guess you could say the same thing about us. Hi, Ross. Welcome to the final dungeon. Okay, so I need to touch all of the skulls that face the giant skull. Okay, well, I think this is one of them. Ah! Whoop! Oh my god, hang on, let's get rid of Mr. Fireball and his fireball-y friends. I was about to say Fire Atronachs look different, and then I realized these are Fire Daedra, which is weird when you think about it. Holy crap, those hurt. Ho ho ho. Those hurt. Why don't we... I can't rest. Where's an enemy? There's an enemy. There's a lot of enemies here, actually. I mean, this isn't a flex, it's just... See you around, Devo. Have a good appointment. I remember when Darkwing Duck came out, you know. Like, if I was going to feel old, I've had plenty of reason to feel old before now. Is that Sheogorath? What is Sheogorath doing here? Now, you ever want to feel old? Look up when the last Grand Theft Auto game came out. You know, the current one. The most recent one. Down you go. Okay, hold on. So, can I rest? I can! Hey! Hey! Okay. Cleared the room of fire. Okay, so hang on. So I need to hit more skulls that are facing Big Skull. Should be at least one more. Maybe? Ah, there we go. Okay, these two. These two are facing Big Skull. Stop facing Big Skull. Quit it. Okay, that should do it then, hopefully. Maybe? So anyways, yeah, here's Sheogorath. At last, I was beginning to think you wouldn't get this far. Dreary place, don't you agree? And guarded by a pompous upstart. He's no more god than I am. Well, carry on. We'll meet again soon. Unless you're not as foolhardy as you appear. Oh, and the frickin' beams have shown up, which means I hit one of the wrong skulls. Great. Okay. Huh. So one of those skulls opened those things, and I'm not sure how to get rid of those. Cool. Wait. They stopped spinning. Mayhap. This'll fix it. Nope. Go away. It's not your cast button. This is your cast button. Lord, it's like the second time in this dungeon I've hit that when I'm trying to cast. Okay. not all of them then? Right? Like, I don't understand what I'm doing wrong here. None of them are looking at him anymore, so we should be good. But the beams are still in the way. Let's just start hitting random skulls. At this point, I don't even know. I give up. So anyways, random skulls. Wait. Okay, that's a teleport skull. Cool. Maybe it means literally touch instead of, like, interact with. That doesn't seem to change anything. There, those two. Those are the two. Those are the two that are looking at him. Right? Like, am I blind? Am I stupid? Am I dumb? No, hey, okay. Why was it? Alright, whatever. I don't care. I don't want to know why there's 3 giant piles of heads in here. Sheogorath, why are there 3 giant piles of heads in here? Oh, I love those puzzles, Plutonia. This is the amaze. Okay, so now we just stand here for a minute. At some point, there it goes. Okay. 1 speaks for me, 2 serve me, 6 protect me. How many defy me? 1. Because of how many skulls we're not looking at them. Okay, so there's a room with a bunch of skulls. This is great. This is great. Okay, so that was that section. That sucked. Okay, 2 sections left. We can do this, everyone. We can make it. We can make it. We can't make it. It's over. It's over. Okay, so we can do this. Six, this one. Funnily enough, the name of this part of the dungeon is Sheogorath's Crossbow. No, I don't know why it's called that. Do not ask me. What are flesh atronachs? You know what? Never mind. Do not answer that question. You know, that's a good point. Let's go see what this dungeon actually looks like. Figure out why it's called this. Oh god, here's the whole dungeon. Anyway, so here's Sheogorath's Crossbow. Looks like a spiral to me. What's that? So that's the underside thing. Over there was the pyramid thing, I think. Down there's the lava room we just did. Over there's the platform. No, we haven't done that room yet. There's a giant sword over there. I don't know what that is. Nice place. What sword, Mook? Hi, J. Palmer. Giant piles of heads, as there tends to be. Why is Sheogorath the only one in Aetherius? Also, if Blade Turbo was here, I'd ask him a question about Sheogorath, but unfortunately he's not. So my curiosity will have to go unanswered. Yeah, Metzen flat out said that during a recent interview. Oh, there's Blade Turbo. Hey, so I saw a thing. I was looking up the history of Sheogorath and the Numidium pair, Titonia. And I noticed that one of the things specifically mentioned was that Sheogorath talked about rebuilding the Numidium quite a while ago. Now, I'm not sure of the exact dates, but the question boils down to, does he talk about that in ESO? since ESO is set so far back. Because that makes him the only Daedric Prince with a story presence in this game. Everyone else is just somebody who could summon to get an artifact. But Sheogorath shows up in the last dungeon. Now, I know, he's a favorite of the devs, as Shivering Isles showed. But... okay. Yeah, I could summon all of them, Moog. That's my first successful backstab in the whole game. I mean, in one of the stories, Sheogorath ripped out someone's organs to turn them into music. Probably just a story, but... I will say he's a lot less evil than your typical Daedric Prince. Make of that what you will. Jigalog's an interesting one. He's probably one of the least evil of the Daedric Princes, and I mean that. I'm not just saying that because I tend to be order-aligned myself. Like, he was just kind of trying to keep a rein on things when everyone else didn't like that, so everyone else teamed up against him. You know? Yeah, exactly, Mr. Ed. Like, it's like, he was kind of the outlier, right? Okay. So there's a giant sword, like you do. Ow, that was more than half my health. That was him manifested, Jake Mulder. That doesn't matter too much, Blade 12. I was just curious. Since obviously ESO comes out after Daggerfall, you know, they could reference it in reverse. Or whatever. You get my point. Yeah, exactly, Archers. That's Jigalog in a nutshell. I cast this. No. Draw a card, by the way. What? Okay. Now discard. What? Okay. I'd like this creature to attack. Nope. Pacify. Okay, how about this one? Missed. Okay. Sorry, this is... for some reason, the walkthrough for this dungeon is worse written than all the other ones. Like, there's a lot of unnecessary information as opposed to it being a walkthrough. Okay, so... between two of the balconies is a platform. Between two. A familiar voice may ask mockingly. So, right, this is Sheogorath. So, runner, come to pay your respects properly at last. Okay. Yeah, it could be Ben One Eye. You know what? I'll take away that negative. Let's assume that it's the guide and not the bug. Would Arena score the same or worse? Okay, so I've never really played Arena. I've played Arena less than I've played Daggerfall. I cannot imagine Arena scoring better. Like, this game actually has some legitimate positives and good design to it. Arena... we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Secret door. Thanks for that game. Arena is not on the books because it's actually not playable at the moment. As of this moment in time, I would consider Arena non-playable. I could probably get it running, I could probably get it streaming, but I would not consider it playable. Some games are just a little bit too no thank you to be worth streaming. Arena lets you delete walls. That's funny. Okay, so... Open the hallway, all the hallway north. There's Sheogorath again. 3 times now in this dungeon. Greetings, Runner. You dare much by intruding here. Nevertheless, I will allow you to proceed, provided you prove as perceptive as rumors reports. You may be aware I'm a master of the blade, but what is my other favorite weapon? Okay. But I mean, it wouldn't be playable. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to think of another game that equates what Arena would be like. Obviously, it would be obtuse and frustrating and terrible. But what I mean by not playable is that it would not be a game... I don't have a better word for it. It's not playable. It's not playable. It is such an arduous game. Let me demonstrate right now. Here, just for you. Let me demonstrate what this would be like. Okay? This is for you. You asked for this, J. Palmer. This is on you. Okay? So let me play Arena. Yes, it is, J. Palmer. That's correct. Do you understand, or do I have to keep going? Arena. I could get it running. I could probably even get it into streamable format. But it wouldn't be playable. There's nothing. It's Arena. It's Arena. Alright, so. I spit venom upon it. Tui. Alright, so. Greetings, Cyclop. What am I doing? What pit? Where am I going? Okay. This looks safe. Now there's the pit. Hey. Thread things. I don't even know what those are. I'm not sure I care what those are. You know, honestly, yes. Speaking of someone who's not a big fan of the Warp in the West. And I do plan to give a negative to Morrowind for the Warp in the West. Okay, so we need to touch the left object. That opens the stone. Touch the box to open it even more. Press the button. Oh geez, oh geez, oh geez. Ah! Correct, Mook. Yeah, I'm doing a really bad job of explaining it to J. Palmer, which is why I was getting frustrated, because like I don't know how to explain without actually firing up Arena to demonstrate. Here's the crossbow, by the way. to demonstrate just how bad playing Arena really would be. We need to step onto the notch, touch the left halberd, and get teleported here. This is a dungeon. This is a dungeon. Okay, we use the sword as a ramp to reach the pommel. It's gonna stop, right? Hey, it stopped. Okay, good. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. It's all the Daedric Lords. This is actually it. This is the final dungeon. So I'm going to close off the guessing game now. If you haven't guessed, it really sucks to be you, because you probably should have already. So, the Warp in the West. I'll give you a very brief answer. So in this game, there are 7 possible endings. I mentioned those earlier if you were paying attention. The Warp in the West is, rather than picking one, they said, they're all canon. Everything's canon. They all happen at the same time. Because weird. And that's pretty much the answer, is because weird. There you go. That's the Warp in the West, in a nutshell. It's pretty dumb, yeah. Yep, all 7 mutually exclusive endings all happen. And are all canon. Wow, Dr. Winter guessed 362 golden number. That is brave, Dr. Winter. My God. If you ever see this in the VOD, I salute you, sir. Also, Google is like being really weird to me today. Come on. Hello? There we go. Jesus. Okay. Oh, you mean you're guessing negative 360? I could fix that really quick. There we go. Oop, there we go. Fixed. Okay, that's... I was just gonna go with it. I've seen some weird guesses on these. Okay. Let's do this. Yes, that's right, by the way. The final part of the final dungeon is the same goddamned dungeon. Look at it. Look at it. It's the same freaking dungeon. It's the same dungeon the whole game has been. There's actually something wildly appropriate about the fact that the dungeon is the final dungeon. Look at it. Oh, that explains everything, J. Palmer. Who's Kirkbride? A contentious character amongst Elder Scrolls fans. Put me in the can't stand him camp, by the way. Really do not enjoy his writing at all. If that's the guy I'm thinking of, I might be thinking of the wrong guy. But if the guy I'm thinking of, he's the source of pretty much all of the psychotically weird stuff in Morrowind. Which is, and I'm going to stress this one more time, weird. Like, he was on drugs. He was on so many drugs. Yep, you've seen one dungeon. You've seen them all! Literally. Funny how that works out. Yeah, Kirkbride came up with the Kim. Among other things. And the fact that the whole world is a dream that implies dreaming and... Yeah, Kirkbride... I will actually give Kirkbride some credit. What Plutonia says is true. He proposed something even weirder than the total nonsense that is in Morrowind. Because he knew that it would be rejected. And so then he toned it down. It's actually a really common strategy when it comes to trying to get someone to agree with something. So there it is. That's the end of the game, right there. Here's the final boss. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Levitating across the platform was the final boss. We did it! Not so fast. Don't you want to see the result of your handiwork? Now look into the Book of Time. Read upon its pages the history of what shall pass within the next few days. Read fate as it shall be recorded upon the Elder Scrolls. So we gave it to the Underking, as a reminder.
Centuries of undead sleep are shaken off, rousing the Underking. No
What?
stop his painful reunion with the ghost of his heart, and he joins with it in an all-consuming fiery embrace. And for just one moment, he is flesh and blood, then blessed death is granted to Tiber Septim's battle mage.
Your work is done, Runner. The world is no longer as it once was. Such is the way of things. Oh, and if you tell the Lich statue to shut up, my chamber will open. The end. Okay, so can I say really quick? So we leveled! Holy crap! So, to be very clear, the one joke there that I will accept is that the very, very last bit of dialogue in the game, intended, is she's like, oh, by the way, the thing you figured out, like, days ago, in order to get through here, is the exit, is the way to get out of here. And it's like, okay. I mean, for all intents and purposes, Morrowind also doesn't have his final boss. Not really. Not in the traditional sense. Neither does Oblivion. The first Elder Scrolls game to have... Well, I don't know about Arena. First Elder Scrolls game after this to have a true final boss is Skyrim, and it sucks. So, what you didn't hear there was... Centuries of undead sleep are shaken off, rousing the Underking. No mortal force can stop his fateful reunion with the ghost of his heart, and he joins it in an all-consuming fiery embrace. And for just one moment he is flesh and blood, before blessed death is granted to Tiber Septim's battle mage. The end. Here, I'll read the other ones for you. So if you give it to Manimarco, he says, the mantella is hurled from Aetherius. And although drawn to the empty chest of the great Numidian, the will of the King of Worms commands it to his side. With this power, the King of Worms leaves his mortal frames and joins the ranks of the gods of Oblivion. Yes, Eleazar. You're probably wondering what Aetherius was. It is the immortal plane. So... assuming that the insane lore of this setting is true, which, to be very clear, I do not think is actually true. just to be nice and clear about that. If you look up at the night sky in Elder Scrolls, in any Elder Scrolls game, the stars don't exist. Those are actually holes in the fabric of reality, and the stuff that's shining through those stars and the sun and all that, that's Aetherium. So we're inside Aetherium, right? Like, we're in this bubble inside the Aetherius. There's a lot more to it than that, but it's all nonsense, and I kind of don't care. Anyways, so, if we give it to... just gameplay later. If we give it to Aedwir, King Aedwir of Waycrest, traitor to the Empire, commands the great Numidian to destroy his enemies. Daggerfall and Sentinel fall first, leaving Wayrest in complete control of Iliac Bay. Or, we can give it to Gortwog. Under the command of Gortwog, Numidian destroys the other powers of Iliac Bay. Daggerfall, Sentinel, Wayrest. A new orcish homeland is carved out in Orsinium, and the Empire will never be able to dispute Gortwog's claim to orcish equality. Or we could give it to Akorithi, excuse me. The Mantella is released from Aetherius at the command of Sentinel and draws forth the great Numidian. The other powers of the Iliac Bay are swept aside like children's toys, placing the white moon of Sentinel in ascendancy over the bay. Or we could give it to the Emperor. Great Numidian, its raw power tempered only by the blades, crushes all the rebellious children of the Empire, destroying their armies. Or we could give it to the evil jackass who gives us literally nothing for it. Great Numidian comes to the call of the Dragon of Daggerfall. Armies of Sentinel and Wayrest fall like scattered leaves, leaving Daggerfall secure in control of the bay. The end. Well, you see, Ben One-Eye. Everyone kill Ben One-Eye. Quick, quick, quick. Alright, so. This has been Daggerfall. I hope this has been at least a worthwhile venture for at least some of you. If not, I can only apologize. So I was actually present to witness this particular run live, which is why I selected it for our audit run.
All right. So let's get back into the game here.
Totally normal looking.
Yep. Everything's fine.
Good old Lando Kyler.
Chances are we're going to see this DOS prompt a few times during the run. It won't be my fault, though.
Fingers crossed.
All right. So, ready to count down? Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
All right. So this is Daggerfall. So in Daggerfall, we start off by making our own completely balanced character. For whatever reason, again, Bethesda things, they left in a debug key that lets us reset this number right below my mouse cursor. That lets us make a custom class. Normally, it would say like, hey, you need to balance out your skills and all that. But instead, we just hit the U key, and it doesn't worry about it. These skills that I'm picking here will come into play much later. But for now, let's just say that they're for going fast. Athleticism, Major 3x for triple spell stuff, and then Spell Absorb is important. This stuff is just to balance out all the cool stuff that I just selected. These don't worry about. This is also just going fast. Here we're going to be the law. That's totally built into the game. All right. So speed is important. That governs how fast we run. So does the run primary skill. I just need to make sure that those are above destruction in their number. Reflex is very high, determines how quickly enemies move towards me. So now we're inside the game. I'm going to delete my spells, and then we're going to literally cheat. All right.
Yeah, it's good. First dungeon.
Pretty good. There we go. We did it. So I will explain the literally cheating later, but it's maybe not cheating. Community is fine with it. Okay, so what this is right here is something called buffer jumping. This.
Quick point of note, the game looks different because they're playing Daggerfall, not Daggerfall Unity. So if you've been wondering this whole time what the difference is, here it is.
This makes moving much faster, even without a horse, than just normally walking. All right, so here we're going to take out a loan, 50K, and then withdraw 49K because Daggerfall models taxes and all that, and withdraw fees because of course it would. Here we're in the Mages Guild. We're going to buy a few spells. First spell that I'm making is a leveling spell. This will become apparent why I'm making this in about 30 seconds. Okay, off to a good start with the typing. Second is teleport. This is just, to teleport. Next one is Levitate. After that is a damage spell. The important one for this is that it is area range. We'll call it Boom.
Boom.
And then another traditional thing, Slow Fall, but it's going to be Slogfall,
Slogfall.
of course. Okay. So that's all those spells all done. And now we go on to a brief level grind. Believe me, it's brief. Shorter than Arena. So I'm going to turn down my in-game sound here because you probably don't want to listen to the spell spam. So what's going on here is that Daggerfall is one of the few Elder Scrolls any percent runs that actually requires you to be a certain level before you could actually do stuff. In Arena, you just kind of needed to get to level 2 in the first dungeon. Then you could just do whatever. In this one, you actually need to get to about level 7 and then a little bit. The and a little bit is just another Bethesda thing. Apparently, there's varying levels of level 7, but
You have to be really level 7.
yeah, you
Not
got to
that
make sure
fake
that you're
level 7.
actually level 7. The number might say 7, but never trust Bethesda numbers. So what's going on here is that I made a leveling spell in the Mages Guild, and I'm casting that leveling spell every single frame by holding down the open spellbook button and the enter key. So that's given me training in three different schools of magic. I'm also casting Slow Fall immediately when I zone into the area here. I'm holding forward, run, and jump at the same time. So I'm holding about 6 keys down. Very important you have a good keyboard to do this. And you can see at the top of the screen it's giving me skill ups. So as you get skill ups, those go into a pool of about 20. Once that pool reaches 20, you get a level up. That's essentially how the system works. There's a bit more complication to that, but that's essentially what's going on here. So I need to make sure that I am level 7, like actually level 7. We're level 6 right now, so we got a little bit more to do. Luckily, this is fairly short, so not a big deal. Another thing to point out here that every single dot on the map is a place you can go to. So there's a whole bunch of different like little provinces here in the map, and each one has like 60 dots on it.
And unlike Arena, this stuff is all statically in the game.
Yeah, like everything's going to be the same layout every time. Everything's going to be in the same spot every time. So we're level 7 now, but just to make sure that I'm level 7, I'm going to just use the spell spam on my way here. And now we're on our way to the first quest of the game. So another thing here is that I'm looking up in the sky a lot when I'm doing these buffer jumps. Because 90s DOS game, the frame rate is higher when you're not drawing stuff. And you get much more distance on your jumps if you do that. So here I'm going to quick save the game and then click on the door and hold down forward, run, and jump. And this is going to, again, do a buffer into an interior part of the level. For whatever reason, buffer dumps don't work anywhere near as well. Did I say buffer dumps? I meant buffer jumps. Oh, well. So
There
here
are
we're going
buffer
to...
dumps too.
Yeah. That's when the game really crashes. All right, so we talked to the quest giver there, set a teleport anchor in front of her for a quick return to her, and then going on down here to our next quest step. So in Daggerfall, if you believe hard enough, walls don't exist. So we're just going to do this, and we're currently in space. So believe it or not, Daggerfall isn't actually an RPG; it's actually a spaceflight sim because we're clearly in space right now. So we can interact with NPCs through walls, which is another nice thing. They can't hurt me, which is the other nice thing. So we can essentially just go out of bounds, interact with the NPC, and then just peace out. So there I Alt F11 to the door. I made sure to hold down the travel key as I open this map because the game does weird stuff with loading stuff. And now
No, it never crashed for me.
So,
Go figure.
this is the start of the werewolf quest, and as I'm running over to the Castle Daggerfall, I'll actually tell you what Alt F11 is. So in the most recent patch of Daggerfall, this is on the most recent patch.
I'm sensing a trend here.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
They put in a hotkey because players were also. This is currently happening.
Just kung fuing really hard.
Yep, we're kung fuing out of bounds. This is called the Dirac drop. Shoutouts to Dirac. players were just playing the game casually, and then they would fall through the floor and die, or just fall out into the void. So because people got so upset about that, Bethesda put in a hotkey. King Hearts hold. Okay. A hotkey to put
I think there's no
players.
E.
King Heart.
Heart,
Let's
yeah.
just do that. There we go. That
Good
looks
save,
right.
chaps.
We did it.
We got
Thank you, Chops. That's right here. All right, so this is the werewolf quest. This is by far and away, the worst quest in the game. So a lot of people think Daggerfall is random. It actually isn't. Like we mentioned before, everything on the world map is going to be in the same exact spot every time, same layouts, same everything. One of the exceptions to that is placement of enemies in dungeons. Oh man, we got a bad one.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so this is one of those quests where we're looking for a enemy in a randomish spot in the dungeon, and it's kind of down to pretty much luck on if you can find it or not. So I can narrow down my search in a lot of ways by knowing which of these cells here the werewolf has potential to spawn in, so I can make educated guesses as to where the werewolf is going to be.
Yeah. A lot of the enemies here you can start seeing from far away, but the quest enemies in particular can only show up when they're really, really close.
Yeah.
Yeah, which makes this way harder than it should be.
Yep.
And
So if you want to know where most runs die, it's here.
yeah, this can take anywhere from like literally the first room you check to actually infinite amount of time.
Yep. Like, your computer will just break before you find it. So it could be here. And of course it isn't. Okay, so luckily this is why I made a save before I talked to Woman in the Castle here. The location of the dungeon and the location of the werewolf in the dungeon isn't set until you talk to her. So we got Castle Kingford now. We'll give this one a go. Castle Kingford. All right, so try number 2.
This time for sure.
Yeah, definitely this time.
I got a good feeling.
The unfortunate thing here is that we're getting castle dungeons, which isn't good. So one of the things I can do to make this a little bit easier is that I have audio cues. So I'm listening for the werewolf mating call, which is much different from the mummy mating call, which we'll get in touch with later. That's the zombie. Oh no, the giant mating call.
It's just
All
contemplating.
right, it could be
here.
like right here. Of course not. Of course it's not there. All right. So this is another bad dungeon. This layout is enormous, and there's only a few places where the thing can be. Also, orcs here, they make the same noises that werewolves make, which is why it's unfortunate that we're getting castle-type areas, because there's a certain like spawn list that the game chooses from. So based off of what type of area it is, you'll know which kinds of monsters are going to spawn. All right, this is the last room I'm going to check before we pull the parachute on this one. All right, there we go. So definitely first try, third try maybe.
Third time's the charm.
So this is the beauty of the werewolf quest. This can do this. Theodric. Actually, I have done this one before. This one should be fine, probably.
Don't worry about it.
Purr's one of the better runners because he's just had to go to so many of these locations that he has memorized all of these possible
Yeah, there's
potentialities.
probably like 100 maybe different places that you can go just for this quest. And once you do enough Daggerfall runs, you start to see the same ones kind of popping up. So here we got the Flame Atronachs, which are better than the orcs. They make different noises.
Imagine getting Flame Atronachs as your first quest, by the way.
You can also get a dungeon that just has werewolves or wereboars
Yep.
spawn normally, and you
Those
have
are
to
also
find
great.
the correct one.
Oh, I hear it. We might actually have one of those. Okay, there it is. All right, this should be it. Yo, there it is. We did it.
Yeah.
All right. Nightmare's over. Okay. That's why it's important to have audio cues. I wouldn't have found that otherwise. All right, also important, save the game, because the game can just kind of blow up at any time. So here we're going to, oh man, okay, get hype.
Ooh, baby.
Those of you who know, if I can spell this right, this has a really long name. That's not it. Okay, hold on.
And now we gotta wait for it to.
So this is another unfortunate thing with Daggerfall is that some of the towns have really, really, really long names. Charinbra Hamlet. Okay, let me try and spell that.
Charinborough?
Charinbra
Bruh.
Ham. There we go.
Bruh.
Okay, so a lot of the towns, even the ones with like stupidly long names, share like the beginning of their names with a few other towns. So for this one, like Charin, if I just typed in Charin, it would send me to somewhere that's not this usually, like Charining or Charin Town or any other place. Everywhere except where I want to go. And another great thing here is that I have to ask around NPCs where to go. Actually, I don't. Never mind.
Bane of my existence for like an entire
So I know
shift.
it's,
Please talk to me.
place
I
called
hate you.
General Store. And it should be this. I could tell based off of the name of the place. And while we're here, this is also important Daggerfall tradition.
This is RNG manipulation. For
Yeah,
later.
this is totally manipulation.
We absolutely need to do this. There we
There
go.
we go.
Looking
All
sharp.
right.
All right.
It's even a good design.
It's the best.
All right. So the quest NPC I'm looking for, if I can stop getting stuck on stairs, is not that guy. Okay, it wasn't even the store. Great. Good.
There were two stores.
There's apparently 2 general stores, which almost never happens. All right, well, what's actually important is that we got a sweater. So that means the rest of the run is going to go great. All right, so this is also apparently a general store. Why are... Sure.
This
Welcome
one's
to
more
Daggerfall.
specific.
2 general stores, no inns. What a great town.
There we go, okay. So that guy said 8 days in Grimfort. In this quest, the NPCs lie to you for some reason. So he said 8 days in Grimfort. It is actually 6 days in Grimfort. So the unfortunate thing with this one is that there is a time range 2, 4, let's do 3 and 3.
Yeah.
There's
Good music.
a time, yeah, don't worry about the sound blaster. It's just a sound blast. And
It's doing its thing.
there's a time range in which the quest NPC will actually be in town. And if you're not in town in that certain range of dates, the NPC will just leave or will just not be there. And if the NPC leaves, you fail the quest. If you fail a quest in Daggerfall for whatever reason or decline it, which is another thing you could do, you can't get it back again. And GG.
GG.
All you can do is just like cry or hex edit your save or something. Because, hey, that's Daggerfall for you.
It's real gaming is what it is.
Yeah, this is proper DOS gaming. You make a mistake, you live with it. All right, so the person for this leg of the quest is always going to be in a palace. They always look the same. So when I look on the map, I'm looking for a right there, that big building off to the west of me. So once I go inside, I usually almost always have to pick the lock. I'm going to save the game because there's unfortunate things that can happen here if I misclick. Okay, we're in there. I didn't. Okay. It turns out I already goofed, and I didn't even know it. All right.
Is
So we're heading
Star.
back to Daggerfall now to go turn in that quest. We actually got to the courier, and now we're heading back to the palace.
Okay, this is a pretty short walk.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, it's not too bad. We have time for a quick donation. You got one?
I've got quite a few donations.
All right.
We have $50 from Foxdie. Had to donate again after watching the Elder Scrolls Arena run. Completely confused by everything that is happening, but can't stop laughing. Thank you, runners, for the passion you bring to these games and the ridiculous tricks you find.
Thank you.
Don't worry, we're just as confused
Oh,
with
yeah.
these games.
It's only going to get worse.
Absolutely.
I mean, you think these games are broken, but we're still making our way through. Oh boy.
All right. So there I had to turn in the quest with the Dowager Queen, and now we're starting up the next one. So you might have noticed that I blew up a zombie a few towns ago. That's zombie. Zombie isn't actually a zombie. Zombie is a letter. For whatever reason, they stitch their letters into zombies and then send them off to kill you. And then that's how this guy in particular communicates.
Yeah, these necromancers are very friendly.
Yep, they're very edgy. So another thing here is that as I'm falling through into the void here, even though I come to a stop naturally, I have to cast slow fall first before I levitate, which is something you have to do because for whatever reason, the levitate spell acts as if there's a solid platform underneath your feet, moving you up and down. Which, if you're already moving down very quickly by falling, putting a platform underneath your feet is just going to result in sadness. So that's why you have to cast slow fall first, because slow fall will always just catch your fall, regardless of what you're doing.
And that right there is why the Alt of 11 exists in the first place.
Yeah.
Because
You might notice I got stuck in the door. You can also easily get stuck in these stairs. This is just Daggerfall things. So our current quest here is to go and get a soul from a lich that's inside the Palace and Sentinel here. And we had Sound Blaster. Okay, so somebody's leaning on the Sound Blaster keyboard right now. Just don't worry about that. That's just Sound Blaster.
At least it's a good note.
Yeah. Sometimes we get a really annoying one, and it just lasts for minutes. Oh, there we go.
There it is.
All right. So here, when I made my character, I gave myself the Spell Absorb General
There it
perk.
is.
And that was important because the damage spell that I made is area at range. So what I'm actually doing is I'm casting a damage spell that is damaging stuff around me, but it's not damaging me. And I'm also getting back all the MP I used to cast it immediately. So I can just infinitely cast this damage spell right at my feet. And makes things very fast.
Yeah, I think the spell name is very appropriate there. Just boom.
It's pretty good. All right, so here is a pretty precise setup that I have to do. Hopefully I get it. All right, so I'm looking at the compass down the bottom right. All right, I'm doing a buffer jump off of that roof there. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm moving forward very quickly and slowly falling down towards the ground. This is because there is a quest area in the middle of this island that I'm on. And normally we'd have to do 2 quests to get the fast travel location of this place in the middle of the island. But as we established before, everything in Daggerfall is always there all the time, regardless if it's like a quest area or not, or just some shack in the middle of nowhere. So if we can get there, then we don't really need the fast travel location. So what we're doing is we're just using an extreme example of that buffer jump to travel very far, very fast. And there we landed. All right. So it should be one more jump here to get where we're going. Okay, maybe one more. There we go. Okay, so we arrived where we are. Didn't screw up the probably pixel perfect thing that we have to do. And now we're going to Kung Fu out of bounds again. If you're wondering how this works, my answer is
Daggerfall?
but yeah,
Bethesda things.
sure.
Todd Howard willed it so.
We're going to see an even weirder application of this in a little bit. So for this one, you're moving so fast that you clip through the floor in front of the door when you enter this area. The one I do in the next part makes even less sense than that did. So here I need to set a teleport anchor here at Medora. Alt F11 back to there. I need to not do that because the game will crash. I'm going to save because the game might actually crash now. We might get our first crash. Will it? Okay, we're good.
It's stable. It's
It'll be fine.
It's a current patch. Don't worry about it.
All right, so here is... This should do it. So if we're falling downwards... Okay,
Good.
so what just happened was...
That's worth the bump, I think.
I fell through the floor so hard that it put me above the door that I came in from. It's just...
It's Daggerfall thing.
Sure. It's handy, though, because it gets us way closer to where we're actually going. So our quest giver here wants us to help her escape from her prison, and in order to escape, she needed a unicorn horn. Sure. Daggerfall's pretty good. So now we're off to another kind of randomish thing, but not really. This is Orsinium. This is the capital of the orcs. In Arena and Daggerfall, orcs are still an enemy faction. And the quest that I'm doing right now is what makes them canonically available in later games as playable races. So here we're going to do that thing again where we go downwards. Oh, geez. Oh, we're fine.
Oh.
Okay, we're fine. We did that clip so hard that we went above the door we entered. Here's our boy Gortwog, Cathedral Jubith. Okay, so there's 5 different dungeons the next quest can send us on. And this one is relatively fast. So kind of like the werewolf quests, we're looking for a mummy. Remember I mentioned the mummy mating call earlier. This is where that comes into play. So here we're going to get this letter if I can pick it up. All right, so not get blown up here. We did it.
Yeah.
Congrats on not being
Congrats
blown up.
on not blown up. All
What's
right.
on the PC not blown up?
Yeah. Funnily enough, this is a game from 1996. The practice PCs that I used earlier in the week couldn't run this game properly because this is actually a pretty strenuous game to run, and we run this on DOSBox, by the way. Another important note I should mention is that Daggerfall and Arena are both $0. They are free on ElderScrolls.com. So if
And
you saw
Steam.
the Arena run and thought, yeah, I wanna run that one. That looks good.
Who wouldn't?
That can be yours for the low price of $0. It's kind of a pain setting it up, but once you have it set up, you're all good. All right, so we killed that mummy and we took the mummy dust from him. Again, don't worry about that. We're gonna give the mummy dust to her. She's gonna do something with it. And then I'm intentionally not setting a teleport anchor there because we're gonna be setting an anchor somewhere else. We will be returning to Medora later, but we have a much faster teleport anchor to set. So the next few
Pause. Hey, Blade Devil, you there? If every dungeon in this game was magically erased from existence, not replaced with them, just erased, this game would get a -5.
quests here are kind of set. They're the same every time.
Which is actually
Let's go
really
to
good.
Daggerfall right now.
all
We got
things
time for
considered.
Another donation or two.
Nice hotbox, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, we have a $75 donation from Tapioca. Awesome job on the arena run, Purry. While you submit 7th Cross to this marathon.
Oh man. Yes.
Heck yeah.
Go the number, Jay
Okay,
Palmer.
good.
You're fine.
No problem. Okay.
XP looks fine.
Sometimes that happens. You move so fast that no matter how fast you click, the door just doesn't want a door. Okay. We got time for another one if you got one.
So I was just going to give a quick update on the Oblivion donation incentive. We have raised almost $6,000
Yo.
for the
Nice.
5-minute Oblivion run.
Let's do it!
I believe.
So you guys heard Maddie. Let's do it.
Yeah.
We have $15,000 to raise and not a whole lot of time to do it, so definitely get to donating if you would like to see the entire Elder Scrolls anthology ran at SGDQ this year.
This is new.
What? Okay. Evidently I clicked there.
Oh. Okay.
Sure. Just Daggerfall. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if the game did lock up there, but that's never happened. Usually the game makes it very, very obvious when it crashes. So that would have been very weird if it did. Okay. So we're, for the last quest...
No, this is 2016.
The mummy dust, she essentially said, hey, come back in 30 days. So we spent 30 days doing another quest. Then we did that. So our current leg of the quest is kind of the actual main quest of the game. So as far as the overarching main story thing goes, the King of Daggerfall was murdered. The Emperor sent you to investigate it. You were shipwrecked in Daggerfall, and then political intrigue happens. He gets sidetracked a lot. Yeah, a lot of good politics stuff. If you love that, then you'll love Daggerfall. But the old King of Daggerfall turned into a spooky ghost, and he started haunting the capital city of Daggerfall. So we're going to go check in with Spooky Ghost King and find out what his problem is. So we're doing another kind of sequence break here. We're skipping a quest that we would normally do to get this fast travel location. So I could do another jump off of a roof in the precise location of this place. And luckily I've done this run enough times that I can navigate this when there's dense fog. Good luck doing that if you're new to the run.
You just turn a little bit to the right and you go. It's
Yeah,
easy.
it's some places it's so easy to get lost. All right, so here we're flying on down to...
I love the draw radius on the original DOS version.
So your horizontal movement in Daggerfall is determined by your speed stat. Your levitate up and down and your swim up and down speed is set, no matter what you do. The only way to go faster is to use stuff like this slope surface here, to go down faster, and you can use the top of slope surfaces to go up faster. That's pretty much the only way to do that. So we optimize our route through through dungeons so that we
No, J. Palmer.
make sure to hit those properly.
And you guys probably thought we didn't have speed tech like that.
I know, we got so much hot tech in this run.
No, it's literally just a control device that Tiber Septim made
This
however
is-
many years ago.
This kind of wraps up the spooky ghost story. So it turns out Lord Woodbourne is the person who murdered the...
It actually goes away at the end of this game one way or the other,
of Daggerfall.
along with the Numidian.
Good. There's going to be an enemy after me at the end of this. Great. So here we're going to use this to go up a bit higher and then fly over to where Lord Woodbourne is. For Lord Woodbourne, it's Lord Woodbourne, but for the quests, all it says is just Lord Woodbourne is a knight class, so just spawn a knight. So there's Lord Woodbourne. Sure, that's a lady, but sure thing, Daggerfall.
Identical.
All right, so here didn't get blown up by guy. So good. We blew up Lord Woodbourne. We got Vengeance for Spooky Ghost King. I skipped a couple cutscenes there because it's just Spooky Ghost being spooky. The Lion and Castle Tavern.
There's never been any codified canon reason why Tiber Septim was so powerful, no.
Random elements in the
There's
run.
been a lot of explanations over the years.
The person for this quest will always be in a town in this area, and they'll always be in an inn. And
It's 'cause the writers never
random,
made up their
and I
mind.
YOLO'd it and got it first try.
Sweet.
So luckily we got a small town there that only had one inn, and I was right next to the inn. So that is handy. So this is the second to last quest in the game. We're almost there. So for this, we need to steal a totem. Like towards the end of the main quest, you find out about this totem. It's this artifact of power that allows you to control a giant golem that was used to conquer Cyrodiil, I guess. Just lore stuff. So here it is. It kind of looks like a baby. So we steal that. And then we're back in Castle Daggerfall, and we give it back to the guy that we stole it from because that's a thing you can do. There's like 7 different endings.
That's the dumbest possible person to give it to. It would literally be less stupid to give it to Manamarco
Dungeon.
than to give it back to the guy you literally just stole it from.
To the final quest in the game. So,
Who also gives you nothing for it.
for this.
Your reward for doing that is he sends people to go kill you.
Again, another thing with the most recent, totally stable, totally fixed version of the game, Bethesda put in an entrance to the final dungeon of the game, just kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So if you buy a boat in the game, and you jump off the boat, oh god, okay,
Yeah, he
I'm just
missed.
trying not to get blown up here. This is the last spot you can die. Okay, we're good.
Real fighting.
If you get a boat and then just kind of go out in the middle of nowhere, you can actually get to this dungeon about 2 minutes into the run. So originally we thought that was any percent for Daggerfall, but if you go and do that at the start of the game, you can get all the way to the end of this dungeon, but once you get to the end, it doesn't actually trigger the end of the game.
Can I interrupt with a quick announcement?
Absolutely.
We have just passed $500,000.
Yo!
Amazing.
All right, get ready on time, by the way. So here's the end of the dungeon. Time is coming up in a few seconds. This is random when this pops up. I have no control over this. And time.
All right.
All right, spook alert for this cutscene. You're gonna do spooks. Cover your eyes.
Very terrifying.
Great Numidium comes to the call of the Dragon of Daggerfall. The armies of Sentinel and Waywest fall like scattered leaves.
Yes, that's right. The voice acting was always terrible. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Final numbers. Ugh. It is, I'll tell you right now, it is better than Starfield. By quite a bit. Let's do a direct comparison with Starfield, shall we? So, Starfield's final story score, -98. Daggerfall, +9. 9 doesn't sound like much, but just look at those two numbers side by side. that is a third of a positive per hour and a 70% ratio. That's pretty good, actually. For this game, I was honestly impressed with how good the story was. No joke. Gameplay. Starfield got negative 109. This game got negative 82. Better gameplay than Starfield, and I stand by that. I should also mention that the densities were better too. So Starfield had 1 1/3 negative per hour. This game had 3 1/3 negatives per hour. But the ratios were about the same. That's the funny part. Starfield's ratio was 20%. Daggerfall's ratio was 21%. Starfield got a negative 574.32. Daggerfall, gotta get a drum roll, please, got negative. Try to be shocked. Try to be shocked. Oh yeah, the Unity version dragged this up quite a bit. Guaranteed. Several of those positives were for stuff in the Unity. Like mod support. The game, I didn't actually show this off properly, excuse me, but the game has built into the game mod support. It's not perfect, it's not like quite at the level of Factorio, but same general idea. Final golden number is negative 248.22, which means Wolverale wins. Congrats, Wolverale. Let's go jot that down real quick. Lego Signet cover, Impossible Creatures, Terraria. No, a lot of people guessed right around that range. It was pretty close, actually. How much percent of that negatives dungeons? So, if you were paying attention earlier, I told you the golden number if we just somehow magically removed all the dungeons, and it was negative 5. So, I was talking to Pax about it just last night. The dungeons in this game are the worst dungeons I've ever seen in a video game. I'm going to drop the joke from my tone to make it clear that this is not hyperbole. These dungeons are terrible. And what's funny is that could like be excusable if there weren't that many of them, or if the game didn't focus so much on them. But no, the dungeons are terrible, and they are a constant presence. Just this non-stop cavalcade of awful. Are they worse than Starfield's dungeons? I actually checked that. So let's do some direct comparisons really quick. So, Starfield didn't exactly get a lot of positives on the dungeon axis. 17 negatives. This one got 7D. 70. I stand by that, by the way. There's some other things I found interesting. This game has better kit than Starfield, which it does. Let's see. This game has better... There were several other things that I thought were funny to compare. Hang on. Better crafting system than Starfield does. Not hard to manage. Let's see. What else? There was another one that got me amused earlier as I was looking through it. Equal mod support. Worst walkthroughitis. I will actually say that. This is one of the worst walkthroughitis games I've covered in recent memories. This is pretty bad. Hang on. Maybe it was on the story axis. I know there was something and it tickled me. No. While the Unity version definitely helped, and I don't want to sound like it didn't, the fact of the matter remains that I don't think this would have reached Starfield levels, because it's just not going to have the terrible, terrible story that Starfield does. The story score for this, between this and the Unity version, is unchanged. And that's what really dragged Starfield down, was a colossally bad story and a colossally bad game. Right? Hang on. Something... Oh, here we go. This is an amusing one. This is an obvious one, but Daggerfall has a better MSQ than Starfield. Again, I know, low bar. Still true. There was one other one. Come on. Yeah, there's actually a story here, an interesting plot. Better world building. That was the other one. Better world building than Starfield. Yeah, anyways, sorry. Point being, how much further would you have to drag down just the gameplay? Oh, I'm not even sure that's actually reasonably possible. Let's find out. So, someone remember the number 82, please? Nope, have to keep going. You have to get to the point. So if somehow the game was exactly the same, but the gameplay got down to around negative 200 to gameplay, it would surpass Starfield. And that's why I say that's not happening. The odds of us of the original version garnering another 118 negatives is unlikely. Yeah, I don't think Unity removed 118 negatives. I don't think that's there. For those of you who haven't caught this, this is the last planned stream for the immediate future. I have a bunch of paperwork to do, and I've got some prep work to do. It is possible I'll be moving soon. If I'm not, again, then I'll just come back and stream some more nonsense. If I am, I'll let you know on Discord. See you guys.